Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
And check out that eye. That's exactly what we want to see.
Woo, look at that panel, baby.
And that, as they say, is that.
By Ymir, this is the Uncanny Omar. And I couldn't say by Crumb, right? Especially when we're talking about Frozen Faith. But today, I am going to be catching up on Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. So, join me for my overview of these 3 latest books. And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, a big thank you to the folks at Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures for sending us copies of these 3 trade paperbacks. These are all follow-ups to, of course, Conan the Barbarian Volume 1. This is bound in black stone that came out last year. And as a matter of fact, these 2 came out late last year, and this one is due out in March. I believe it's March 11th. So that will be kind of your preview, if you will. And really quick, here's how all 4 of these books will look on your shelf. You have the volume number up at the top, Conan the Barbarian, the title of the stories found in here, and the creators, Heroic Signatures, and Titan Comics logo. And I'm not going to do any huge spoilers. I'm just going to go through each of the stories and kind of give you a look inside, to look at the artwork, and of course, just an overview of each of these collections. So we have The Age Unconquered, Thrice Marked for Death, and this book over here that I have been wanting to check out as soon as I heard there was going to be the Frozen Giant's Daughters adaptation. Yes, let's look at Volume 2 first, The Age Unconquered, and then we'll look at the other 2 volumes and give you an idea of what we're looking at. Alright, so here is the second volume, Thrice Marked for Death. Kind of sounds like a James Bond title, but this is drawn by Doug Braithwaite, who is the ongoing Conan artist with the artwork by Roberto de la Torre. So Diego Rodriguez applying the colors, and Richard Starkings of Comic Craft, who does this amazing lettering through here. Oh my gosh. Just, I mean, a legendary letterer. We have the Hyborian Age map, and then a little bit about the Nemedian Chronicles and telling you about Conan. You'll have the covers and variant covers sometimes right before the issue starts. So this is the second volume of the new Conan the Barbarian series. Again, Jim Zub teaming up with all these legendary artists to do these new stories. They all take place at different times, so this is taking place at a different time than the first volume. But they're all kind of interconnected. And again, mature content here for mainly the violence. There's some sexual content and nudity, but we're talking about Conan by Crumb. All right, so Conan is having flashbacks, and I don't want to spoil in case you don't know who this is, but he's having flashbacks of this woman, captain of the Tigris and queen of the Black Coast, named Beilit. And something awful has happened to her. He's haunted by these memories, and I love the narrative. The narrative is so awesome. It talks about how time is a thief, and how time is just relentless. Oh, so damn true. But he's trying to get his mind off of her by drinking himself away and just doing all kinds of different missions. And he thinks that maybe this latest heist to steal something from this particular castle might be a way for him to forget more and more about this person named Beilit. So along with the team, Chandra, the Chat, who's a sneaky thief, Kamal, who's the break-in expert, and the character of Gref, they go in and try to steal something. And much like everything else in the world of Conan, this particular MacGuffin that they're trying to steal, this obsidian stone right here, could be cursed, right? With some kind of haunting. So as soon as they take it, these apparitions appear. Again, flashbacks of Beilit. Oh, look at that beautiful Jay Lee cover. Love it. And these apparitions start attacking them and start taking over each one of these thieves that have stolen this. But what is it exactly that they want? Well, there is a little bit of a twist and turn with what they want. And once they start taking over people's bodies, you can see the gruesome madness and chaos that they cause. And of course, Conan is the one that's fighting back. Like, is he going to be taken over? Well, let's just say something does happen to our favorite Sumerian, and how he handles it is a lot different than the other thieves and how they handled being taken over by these ghouls and ghosts. So that leads into the next book, though, what ends up happening, and I don't want to give away. So let's instead look at the extras here. You have this article by Jeffrey Shanks talking about Robert E. Howard and his Ages of the Undreamed of, and then in the back you're going to have more of the cover galleries done in a thumbnail size. Lots of variant covers here. And connecting variant here by Patch Searcher. And then creator bios. I love that they're adding that to trade paperbacks. And then the legendary Conan other books. And including this one here, which is an actual novel. And that is Conan City of the Dead. Alright, the next book. So just in case, like maybe minor spoilers as I'm talking about these. Because this book, Volume 2, kind of sets up the events here. And the things that I'm going to be talking about here, I've kind of talked about already in book 1, or at least you'll see. So something happened in the previous volume. By the way, Roberto de la Torre is back here as the artist. You have Dean White, Diego Rodriguez doing the artwork, or I'm sorry, the colors, and then Richard Starkings doing the lettering here with Tyler Smith, who's also kicking ass on Conan. So something happened in the last issue that takes Conan back to a different time, the Thurian age. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what and who he meets through here, but there's some other twists and turns that happen through this book that I will not spoil. But you have him meeting these group of Picts. Now, it's not the first time he's met Picts, right? He met a Pict named Brizza in Volume 1, but this could be maybe her ancestor. We don't know yet, and maybe, you know, you can find out. But anyway, he's kind of appearing in front of them out of nowhere, you know, from the future, what he thinks is the future. And Brule, that's his name, the Pict, and his men tie him up right next to a tree. They don't know who this guy is, and he instead breaks free, and he's like, no, I'm going to go with you all. And they're like, all right, we're going to Valusia, the city of wonders. So, you know, we're going to go there to talk to the king. We were sent on a mission, and we need to report back what happened. So they go to Valusia. And I love the fact that Conan is distracted by these women and the smell of their perfume. But I mean, it's Conan. And then he meets this character right here, although he might have met him already. I love it. I love this. This is Yakosha. And Yakosha, this kind of reminds me of like a mix of like Doctor Who with Conan. It's a character that he's met before. And he's killed before, and he's like, how could you be here? Wait, I've killed you in the future. And Yakosha starts talking about time and gives him clues as to what he's doing here. Oh, man, it's so awesome. And then, of course, I kind of grace by this. But yes, this is King Cole. That's who's sitting at the throne. The Atlantean outlaw, the slayer of Borna, conqueror of the Valusian throne. So he's here waiting on the character of Brule to bring him a report of what happened in their mission. And he turns on them. He starts attacking Conan. He starts attacking Brule. And Brule's like, we're friends. What the hell's going on? And Conan's not going to turn down a fight. He's like, all right, let's do this thing. So I didn't expect this to be so early on in a Conan story for him to be fighting the character of Cole, but it was a nice surprise. I loved this book. I thought it was so good. I was hooked. I'm so sorry, I forgot to say, the second book here, this one collects issues 5 through 8 of Conan the Barbarian. This one here collects 9 through 12. This one has 112 pages, as this one does too. But eventually you find out that something's taken over the character of Cole. Something's going on in his mind. This right here, giving me that, man, Joe Kubert, like, type of vibes right there, that artwork. But he snaps out of it, and he's like, look, we need to go back to Atlantis. Like, we need to go back there and free my people. Something's going on. And that's kind of where the mission leads. Like, they go to the seas. And again, when you're on a boat, Conan immediately starts thinking of Bêlit, you know, his life on the boat there. And, oh, man, it's so good. And where this goes, and this... This fine-looking red warrior. Woo! Conan. All right, what the hell was I saying? Okay, where it goes, it just goes in ways I didn't expect it to go in. Does Conan make it back into his timeline? We have this article right here by Jeffrey Shanks, talking about the cities, and then this one right here, continuation of his Ages Undreamed Of, and then, of course, the covers. The variant covers and thumbnails size, and then behind the blood, a little bit of the concept sketches for some of the characters here. And the bio on the creators. All right, the last book we're going to talk about is Conan the Barbarian Volume 4, Frozen Faith. This one is collecting issues 14 through 17 and also has 112 pages. So this is the adaptation, if you will, of The Frost Giant's Daughter, and oh my gosh, it's done so damn well. Again, advertisements from Titan Comics for actual books right here: Blood of the Serpent, City of the Dead, and the Cult of the Obsidian Moon. So a lot of these stories are just tying back again into Volume 1. And that's what I love about Conan. Yes, you can read each of these, and it's one of those things that you can read like a certain volume and be completely fine, but you'll want to dive deeper into the world of Conan. So why not go back and read the others? This is a piece right here by Dan Panosian, I believe. No, I forgot to go over the credits. Doug Braithwaite is back doing the art, Diego Rodriguez, and then Richard Starkings and Tyler Smith doing the lettering here. And I gotta give it to the lettering. I've talked a little bit about it, but first, let me give you the plot. The plot is basically Conan. This is at a different time than volumes 2 and 3. But Conan is going up north. He's a little bit younger here, a little bit rough around the edges, but he's having flashbacks of his father. And kind of blasphemous flashbacks where he's questioning. He's at that age of questioning that a youth would start questioning, like, what is Crom? Why should I believe in Crom? And if Crom doesn't care about me, why do I care about what mountain he resides in? And things like that. And that's, oh man, the narrative again, so good. He runs into a pack of wolves. By the way, if you're not a fan of animals getting hurt, we're talking about Conan. Man's got to eat and stay warm. And when he's hunting a bear, again, flashbacks of his childhood here, and just how much of a warrior he was, and when he gets in trouble with his dad, I love. But anyway, what ends up happening is that he goes hunting, kills this bear, and he sees these 3 guys sitting by the fire. Ooh, this young lady that's just walking around topless everywhere. Who is that? All right, these guys that are trying to take his fire, trying to take his bear, they're trying to kill him. Instead, he beats them down and ends up joining their expedition, if you will, their team, and will end up joining the Wolfware. So that's what's going on through these pages. He'll end up joining them. They'll go into battle. So it's the Wolfware Reavers versus the Wolves of Bragi in this huge, gigantic fight. Meanwhile, this woman, this topless woman, is just walking around, and she has her eyes on Conan, and she's wondering about him. So what's happening is that after this huge fight, he is having visions of her. And sorry, I have to censor some of this because, well, it's YouTube, and any chance they get, demonetization. Anyway, so he doesn't know if it's a vision, if she's real, what exactly is going on, who is this woman, and she claims to be the daughter of Ymir, so the daughter of this frost giant, if you will, this god, and he refuses to believe that, right? So he ends up fighting her brothers, and what ends up happening through here, are they real, is she real, was any of it real? And then what happens when the people back in the village find out that he was the lone survivor of this huge fight between the Wolfware Reavers and the Wolves of Bragi? So it's, oh man, it's so good. I really like the character of Njord too. And the conversation he has with his dad, I love that. I love these flashbacks, where his dad explains Crom and why you should believe in things you can't see. I think it's a beautiful, just wonderful connection between father and son that you don't really get to, you haven't seen yet, right? You have Conan, this wandering, lonely warrior, and these are the kind of things that he thinks back on because he's seen a lot. And I wanted to point out the lettering. Oh my gosh, it is just another layer of what makes this book so awesome. I love the story. I've gone on about Jim Zub and just his understanding of Conan. The lack of sound effects just bring in the realism to the story. And the placement of the lettering, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's truly an art form that I don't think a lot of people recognizing or people get recognized for. Where each of these word bubbles are, I mean, they're specifically put to. There's an actual map behind it. I love this right here. The snow and ice storm is so strong that it's kind of wiping away the caption right there, the word bubble. Oh, it's just, yeah, this has got some top-notch lettering. You know, we're so accustomed to sometimes, I love manga, but manga is very, very guilty of this. Just using standard computer-generated lettering, or sometimes, well, to save a few bucks, AI stuff, but not this book. Not Conan. Conan is more than that. But anyway, that is volumes 4, 3, and 2 of Conan the Barbarian. And that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing any of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was the content and page count of each of these books. In the comments down below, let me know if you are picking up Conan the Barbarian in trade paperback and single issues, or you're waiting for that beautiful deluxe edition that will come out later this year. Or if you've never read Conan and you've always been interested in checking out the stories of the Cimmerian. Well, look no further than getting into Conan through these books. But I always do warn people, when you get into Conan, woo, it is like a Cimmerian bug that you catch because you want to read more and more. And hopefully check out other omnis or trade paperbacks that Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures are putting together. But that's it, everybody. If you have any questions, leave those down below. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.